Good morning. This is our daily analysis from NFT Gallery Japan. Metaverse. NFT. Evolution is here. Please educate yourself and catch the train. Today's subject is fashion. Fashion industry is going to be as important as game industry for the future of NFT. Before going to today's question, I do want to mention that this is not a financial advice. Metaverse and NFT bear high volatility and risk. So please make your own research and your own decision. What do you think NFT space will look like 5 years from now? Recently, there's been a lot of money to be made in NFT space, but this is a chance for a lifetime. Everything is changing, so I'd rather take the risk and not to regret myself in 10 years. How long do you think there's left before people start projects? Crypto market goes down, or current the hype dies out? I don't think NFTs are going anywhere. Imagine your watches are NFT. You can forge papers, but you can't forge NFT. This is where the space is going to go eventually. Do you think about what it takes to make a project succeed and provide future opportunities? You'll never know what doors this could lead to. I bet it made you feel really fulfilled. RTFKT gained popularity selling CryptoPunk sneakers, recently dropping one of the most anticipated NFT collections, Clone X. Now the terms weren't disclosed, but this company was said to be bought out for between $200 to $500 million by Nike. It makes sense given that just in the last few weeks, RTFKT has made over $100 million in sales of Clone X, as well as secondary royalties. After this news broke, the price of Clone X vials skyrocketed. The prices peaked at 12 ETH per vial at one point, basically a 10x from where people bought in early stage. This hype was so crazy that it actually drove the marketplace volume to a point we haven't seen in a couple of months. However, the story is much bigger than RTFKT alone. In line with previous announcements from other global brands, this news does come up after in a series of world-shifting decisions that the fashion industry will go into NFT and Metaverse. I foresee that there will be many other opportunities for those who can get ahead of the curve and hop on this wave before it hits mainstream. Today, we're going to talk about why this announcement was such a big deal. Louis Vuitton's first official NFT offering celebrates historic developments in the iconic brand story, honoring the 200th birthday of its founder and namesake, the original Louis Vuitton. LVMH is the French holding company behind brands like Louis Vuitton and Givenchy, has a market cap of $400 billion, which is more than Goldman Sachs and Disney combined. There are other massive brands like Nike, which is at $260 billion, and Adidas at about $50 billion, and all in the fashion industry generated $2.5 trillion in global annual revenues prior to the pandemic. That's more than double the amount generated by Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Netflix together. These companies all want to be seen and remembered. And now they're realizing that a lot of this attention is going online, first with gaming and social media, and now with Metaverse. This is why Balenciaga is partnering to produce skins in Fortnite. Nike has partnered with Roblox to create Nike Land, a virtual world for fans. The company filed patents for NFT trademarks in the same year. Professional brands are also recognizing that they can create exciting new marketing opportunities if they partner with these platforms. For example, Adidas recently partnered with Boarded Yacht Club to purchase an ape of their own, and Burberry partnered with NFT Games Blanco's Block Party to sell a cosmetic skin bearing their branding. NFTs and Metaverse have been a top concern for these companies. It should only be a matter of time before a brand like Gucci starts to normalize the sale of tokenized items. Vice presidents of these companies have been talking about this as a key area for brands to invest in the future. On one side, you have people calling this all a scam. On the other side, you have these mega corporations with their teams of analysts realizing that they have to get a C on this train before it leaves the station. The reasons behind this are plentiful, but here are a few important ones. First of all, it is obvious that a lot of attention going from the physical world to the digital world. The more important change that I'm noticing is the quiet surge in digital identities. We've had online avatars for years. You can go back to World of Warcraft, for example. For those looking to shift their focus from numbers and statistics to more social aspects of the game, such as their online persona, what gear they wear or identify with. These were self-contained avatars, limited to inside of one game, and users didn't really own it. If the game banned you, you would lose access to this character, along with any items that you purchase. However, with those limitations in mind, people spent $10 of billions per year on cosmetics alone. For For years, Fortnite skins were one of the most popular things that children would spend their parents' money on. People spend up to 150 USD for a single cosmetic weapon. Now with non-fungible tokens, we're getting much closer to what true persistent online identities will look like. These profile, pictures collections are fully independent of any platform. Users own them. Moreover, they're compatible with any Web3 application if it is permitted technically. And they're incentivized to do so because this is a great way to encourage more gamers to use Web3. This is why any local brands partner with a collection like Bored Ape, because brand instantly convert a large number of the holders to new clients. There really isn't a way for shops offline to get as many impressions as the profiles on social media. Jay-Z, for example, has 88K followers on Twitter. Consider Jay-Z as punk on Twitter, and how many people see this on the regular basis. Even though he barely ever tweets, it's not a secret that people are going to start associating punks with Jay-Z since he's been such an influence. And if well-known brand can get into this position, marketing for their products will double. People are caring about their digital identity more right now, maybe even more so than their physical identity. The reason that the use of digital wearables is going to be a major trend is because it's much more profitable than the traditional physical fashion business model. Did you know that there is a variant of the iconic Birkin bag that has been specifically designed to exist in virtual space? As expensive as the real one. If you want to make a physical product out of your idea, you're going to need some expert advice. Keep in mind that turning it into a product will require different resources, such as production and distribution. On the other hand, if you want to sell digital products online, all what you need is creating a digital product. This is purely a question of margin and profit. And it's possible that in 5 years, if a brand like Nike gets at least 10% of its revenue from digital fashion, and it is still growing, it could make the company as a whole way more valuable because it starts becoming almost like an internet company. If Gucci stopped making physical products, would they be a fashion company? And it does make 90% of its revenue from selling cosmetic skins in metaverse. Now, let's talk about how a savvy investor who watches junk or buys tokens. How can you benefit from being here early and seeing this trend coming from a mile away? The main idea is that all of your assets on blockchain can be traded and also be priced. Anything that can be priced can be speculated on. As investors shift away from old styles of investing, the ones who recognize trends and take advantage will be rewarded. These trend chasers are set to corner an entirely new type of market. How can you get exposure to this trend? For example, Clone X, which is RTFKT profile pic collection. Although you would have to pay a minimum of $20,000. One can't really say for sure, but given this how much it costs and the future it offers, Nike certainly have enough resources and solid plan to turn this into a huge brand. I did not get one and I feel as if I missed that boat, but at this point, when I look at that price and the information, is not cheap. They're a huge collab with a major brand to come up. The first one is 10KTF, which is a project built around a fiction who from time to time will sell NFC wearables. These wearables will be linked to the identity of a specific entity. So for example, you could get a backpack with your character's face on the back, if it comes from one of these Verify collections. This is a narrative-driven collection where they're slowly building out the lore and the characters, and people are attracted to it because of this mysterious approach. 10KTF is owned by a company called WENEW, co-founded by Beupple, who is one of the most prolific artists in the NFT world, and Louis Vuitton. And the team has had connections with some famous musicians in the past. We also know the team is pretty big, probably over 25 people at this point. They also launched a Louis the Gain for 200th anniversary of the Mason. Now, if you do want to get involved, the idea here is that there's probably going to be an upcoming collection or some major airdrop, and they're going to find a way to reward their early holders in some way. And if you recall, Artifact also had similar NFT wearables that they used to whitelist people to prevent their clones. Meta Birkin just came out in this month. The interesting aspect here is that they're taking a digital fashion angle that we haven't seen for many other collections. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.